It is also known that the jinn lived for thousands of years before the humans were created. Hi, and welcome back to SYWK Podcast, where you can find everything related to paranormal. Did you hear my previous episode where I shared a story about a haunted television in Bhutan? If you haven't, then click the link in the description. For sure, you will enjoy it, and if you do, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Now let's come back to this episode where I'll be talking about the types of jinns like Bombay Sapphire, Roku jinn.
अबे पागल, ये वाला जिन नहीं, दूसरा वाला जिन.
Oh yes, sorry. I'll be talking about jinns, or some of us call it jinnats. But before I go ahead, I would like to inform that this episode is only for entertainment purpose. I do not intend to spread blind faith or superstition. Neither the information in this episode is 100% true. I can be wrong, and if I am, please let me know. So I'll be breaking this series into 3 parts. The first part is the history of jinns. The second part is the types of jinns. And the third part is real life jinn stories from you guys. So if you would like to share your experiences, send me an email. My details are in the description. I'll be waiting for your stories. So without wasting any time, let me tell you the history of jinns. History of jinns. It's unclear exactly when the specific concept of jinn first emerged. However, there is something mentioned about jinn in one of our holy books. It says, "And he created the jinn from a smokeless flame of fire." To be specific, jinns are the earliest dweller of the earth way before humans existed. They are a group of people which God created. They have everything similar to us. They can eat, sleep, they can have homes, they can like videos, they can subscribe to channels, and many more such things which human can do. Another fact, jinns live in a parallel world concealed from our eyes. They live in a different dimension and follow a different timeline too. Therefore, unlike humans, they live for hundreds of years. Right now, you never know, in a different dimension, they might be creating content about different types of humans. Never know. कुछ भी हो सकता है. Records also tell us that the race of jinns was created on a Thursday, the day after angels were created. It is also known that the jinn lived for thousands of years before the humans were created. But here I have a question. If humans were created later on, then how does we as humans know such specific information about jinn? Because the information which I am giving you right now, it is from a website. So I want to know exactly how we have such specific information. If you know anything about it, please comment below and let me know. Anyways, getting back to the history, there was a problem that concerned God, that the jinn had become prideful beings who thought that they were greater than God. God tried sending warnings to the jinn, but all of these warnings were ignored. With all his warnings ignored by the prideful jinn, God had no choice but to send his angels to fight with the jinn and cleanse the earth. When the battle had ended, all but a few of the evil jinn had been destroyed. At this time, God decided to make the race of man. Humans were created on a Friday, thousands of years later, out of a clay from the earth. When God had finished creating humans, he showed his creation to all the angels and jinn and ordered that they bow before the first man, Adam. It was at this time that another problem came up. Although most of the jinn and angels were obedient, one that was named Iblis refused to bow before Adam. He argued with God and said that because he was made from smokeless fire instead of clay, he was far more superior to humans and should not be forced to bow to them. Because of his arrogance, God threw Iblis from heaven and condemned him to hell. Iblis accepted his fate, but asked that he might be spared until Judgment Day so that he could tempt humans from the path of righteousness. God granted this but did not give Iblis power over humans. And that was the history of jinns. If you want to know more about the history in detail, check out the website called mythology.net. The link is in the description. It's quite simple for us to understand the concept now. Iblis, or so-called the devil, will try to tempt us to do the wrong things. But we need to keep our faith strong in God and always do good things, like subscribing to my channel, supporting my work. Anyways, in my next episode, I will be talking about the types of jinns. So stay tuned, and if you think I have missed anything about the history of jinns, don't forget to comment below if you're listening to this episode on YouTube, or DM me on Instagram if you're listening to this episode on any of the audio platforms. Thank you for listening and stay tuned for my next episode.